I'm with Bishop Cornelius Sim, the Bishop of Brunei. You're very welcome to Ireland, Bishop.
Thank you very much. Great welcome so far.
Is this your first visit to Ireland?
First, yes.
First visit. And what are your impressions?
Well, just like I was told, green, damp, maybe wet, but the Irish people, great humor. Well, that's one of the things I picked up so far. Hospitality, fantastic. And I must say that being here at the Congress, the informality, that really strikes me as something very unusual, very helpful too.
Tell me a little bit about the church in Brunei.
Well, it's... we think, never done a census, but there must be around 18,000 Catholics. Population of 400,000. So it's a small country, it's a sultanate. We have a king, a sultan. We have all the other things that go along with having a government, ministries and stuff, army and everything. But the church itself, well, we have 3 parishes and we're 4 priests, including myself. So it's a very small, shall we say, tight-knit community. The majority of our Catholics actually come from abroad. There are Filipinos, some Indonesians, and there's the odd European, Irishmen, the people from British Isles, that sort of thing. So it's kind of diverse.
Diverse.
Yeah.
What do you see as priest and bishop, the challenges before you at the moment in the church, particularly in your own country?
Well, I think there are 2 things, of course. The church has its universal dimension, so this whole idea of trying to be part of whatever's moving in the church outside of our boundaries, because it's important not to to be so inward-looking. But then there's also a necessary component of looking inside and to build the church from within. Church has had a fairly short history, although there have been several attempts, more like, what should I say, they were accidental rather than, well thought through instances when Christianity came into the country, going back as far back as the 16th century. But nothing happened from that. In the 19th century, something happened, a little church set up just for a couple of years, and then it disappeared. So 1920s, and more substantial and more prolonged, sustained movement to embed the church in the local land. But we're still, so we're talking about history, maybe about 80 years, 90. Well, not long, and we still have to have a sense of, what shall we say, determining our own direction, but within the gambit of the universal church. So I'd say, what can we do inside the country to build up the Catholic faithful? Well, we need priests, of course, but I think the real secret is to have a Catholic laity, that's well formed. Formation for me is one of the big priorities. Not the only thing, but it's really important for me. So formation, you have to know your faith, before you can live it out well. Otherwise, you'll be doing it in a kind of a haphazard manner. I would say that's one of the big challenges, and how to be a local church that fits into the universal one. I can talk about, well, we live in a majority Muslim country. That can be a great opportunity. We have schools, for example. These schools provide opportunities for students of all walks of life and all ethnicities to come. Our schools, for example, I would say that 70% of the students will be Muslims, for example. So it's a great opportunity to, what shall we say, to be able to do something useful You know, at the same time, not be too pushy. You know, and things. There are other issues with tensions, you know, across the world, interreligious harmony. You know, how are we going to work that out? You know.
As a small community, as you say, and a small number of priests, how are you guaranteeing the future of the church in your country in terms of vocations, etc.?
Well, I became a bishop in 2005, just after, just before Pope John Paul II died. You know? He was very keen to get the church in Brunei to become autonomous. You know, he was very involved in that. So we were very lucky. But ever since that time, I've been really concerned about the whole idea of, well, vocations of priesthood. That I was ordained in 1989. I was 38 at the time. I'm a career professional before that. You know, so since then, in 1991, you know, I was the only priest for a few years. Since then, we picked up 3 along the way. So that's not so bad, I suppose.
That's good.
But we certainly need more men to fill in the vacancies. You know, plenty. It's not so much that you know, this thinking that every parish should have a priest and then we should all say hallelujah. You know, that's a bit outmoded, I think, because my feeling has always been that that the local church ought to have an interest in how the universal church is going, and one of the ways to do that is we ought to have our priests have some missionary, what shall we say, focus. So priests ought to be ordained not just for their own locality, but there should be this possibility for us to also, you know, send our priests to work abroad. You know, so we're not there yet. You know, but.
Yeah. Well, we're living at the moment in a very fragmented and increasingly fragmented and secular world.
Yes.
And of course, in most parts of the world, the economic crisis, the worst in maybe 100 years, is having its effect. Does that present challenges for you in Brunei?
Well, you know, a big word is, of course, globalization. And I think it has the effect of flattening society. You know, the hierarchical levels seem to have disappeared, and if they're still there, they don't seem to be particularly relevant or effective. You know, so I think in that sense, we're from a financial point of view, you know, what happens in Ireland, you know, it has a trickle-down effect, you know, somehow for the rest of the world. You know, we've weathered the for Asia, the 97 financial crisis was a fairly substantial one. You know, we've come out of that, but we're not quite the same as what we used to be. You know, there's a lot of optimism before that, but as you know, I think what's happening in the financial markets has an effect on the psyche of the common man. You know, because you know, we're looking at a future where things are going to be much more challenging, and I would think that might have a positive effect from the point of view of spiritual practitioners like myself, you know, and well, all of us. I mean, as Catholics, you know, because it'll help people to think a lot more, not just about the material, shall we say, dimension, you know, of life, you know, but bigger things. Young people have to, for example, learn to live knowing that there's going to be less opportunities, for example, you know, and to cope with that kind of thing, you know, you'll need to have some spiritual strength, you know, and I think that might be a good thing.
I think you possibly are right, Bishop. But thank you very much for talking to us, and we wish you well in your ministry in the future.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.